Hi everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 14, episode 5. As you can tell, I have my voice back this week. Still sick. But, well, I was feeling better yesterday compared to the days before that. And then today was a bit of a rough day again. Luckily, I didn't have to do much today. Still got that stupid cough, but last week was really bad where, like, when I wanted to talk, it was either me whispering or it was like Marge Simpson, like, homie, or like I can't, and it was like so much work to try and get words out. So it was nice for the people who didn't want to hear me talk, but it was hard when I had to say something, or if I had to, because I couldn't talk properly, people were like, what? Like, you know, pardon, repeat yourself. And then I had to try and repeat myself without a voice. So Mom says, hi Lisa, hi Mommy. Sorry I'm late. I didn't realize it was like 8:07 already. I was like in here. Well, and also because I'm in my bedroom, as you can tell. But Steve did go out with his mates for cards today, but he just left. So Thomas was at the door talking to him and Steve was in here and I was just sitting here waiting to go on. But I would have kicked them out if I realized it was already after 8. This is yesterday's hair, so I just spritzed it a little bit so it doesn't look totally yucky, but again, I haven't done much today. I say I haven't done much, but I always have productive days, even if they're sitting on my butt. Even sleeping is productive for me because I dream, so, and obviously my body rests if I'm sick and I need sleep. Oh, I did laundry today. I made dinner and breakfast, or brunch I should say, because when we woke up. So I have done stuff today. I've also like been going through all my photos on my phone, especially garden photos, and posting them because I've been behind on that. So I've posted January and February garden photos, and then when I'm done this I can I've gone through all my March garden photos and I can post my March ones, and then I'm caught up on that, you know, because I don't need to do April yet. Oh, and then, yeah, I have some candids on January, February. Yeah, I think I only need to do March candids to put them on Facebook. Yeah, so I thought I would just take it easy for my live, just be snugly in a hoodie and just be in bed, because this way, for the most part, unless I can think of anything that I need to go downstairs for, I can just sneak into under the blankets and like fall asleep when I'm done on my live. I mean, I could even sneak under the blankets before my live's over if I really feel like it. I have my heating blanket on, so I can feel it coming through. Sorry, got burps. The bed sheets. This is the bed sheet, the duvet cover, and that I have on right now is this one. So it's a nice comfy one. So Steve doesn't like these, like, what do you call it? Pressed cotton. I can't remember what it's called. It's like really nice and warm for the winter. He doesn't like it on the bed because he gets too hot with it. So I know Mom, you like it, and your bedding here is even more fleecy and nice and soft for the guest house when you're here, but it's not bad as a duvet cover. He doesn't mind it. And then the pillowcases, these are the ones that go on top, so we might use these like when I watch TV. I'll have it behind me, but Steve, you can sort of see Steve has these ones with, I put blue pillowcases on them, and they're just normal pillowcases he has like 3 pillows because of his neck and back. I sleep with a really, really flat pillow, so this is mine. I like this pillowcase too. There's only one of them. I don't even know where I got it from, but my pillow is so floppy because sometimes I need to pack it up tight and put it in underneath me, and sometimes I need it to be so flat that my head is like I just, yeah, it depends. So if I'm laying on my side, then you want more of a pillow because of the gap between your shoulder and the bed, right? So that's when you want it more. But if I'm laying on my back or my front, then you just want to be like close to the bed. So anyways, telling you my pillow habits. Also, right here on the corner, this is where I hang my where did I put it? I threw it over here. My Steve watches TV while I sleep, and I like dark and quiet, so I put on my mask. And this one's really great. It's only like less than 10 pounds, and but it has this nose piece, this piece of material here. I got it on Amazon, and it blocks out, like, because lots of times you'll put a mask on and light will come in right up here by the nose. This one blocks all the light out, so I'll have darkness. And then when he finally goes to sleep at whatever time, I have to, sometimes I'll take this mask off, and then I'm trying to, I don't want to just throw it on the ground or whatever. So I try to reach up here and hang it on there in the middle of the night so that I know where it is for the next day. But it was there, but I took it off for aesthetics. And what else is my bedtime routine? So even though I have Pop right now, kind of only to match the Bitmoji that I used, this is my water that I keep by the bed. It's at Avengers, but the thing I like about this is that it has a lid on it, so the water never gets dusty. So I can have it here for weeks, and whether I'm having a sip or I'm having a lot, I know I always have a drink, and it never tastes bad, and I can always use it to water my plants as well if I forget to water them. So, but I moved this stuff off of my side table. This is I think I've showed you guys this before. Yeah, I have. I don't have them on my side table. I have them over on this desk. Because you only want so much stuff on the side, right? Where's the other one? There it is. They're usually together. So if I eat in bed, like noodles, which I don't eat often and stuff, but whatever, chicken strips, or chicken breast cut up into strips, then I like my Frank's, my pepper, and my chili flakes. Those are the things that I would put on top of anything that tend to not, that I don't want to bring up here and leave up here. So these are my little ones that I actually keep up here. Is that sad? I don't think we would eat in bed as much. Well, I mean, we don't eat dinner in bed and stuff, but if it's just like, because we watch TV up here. Once we have a new couch, we might watch TV downstairs more, but the couch isn't comfortable for Steve anymore. It's too soft, and he sinks into it too much, so it's not good on his back. So I know I didn't really do my Easter things that I wanted to do because I couldn't talk last week, but I did make the Easter craft that I was telling you guys about, and I'm just going to block the face because this is public. That's our grandson, and we're not putting his face on public internet. So, but this is the cute little, those are his footprints, and I made some of these for him, for like his parents and his grandparents and great grandparents and us, and it's made with cotton balls. I know my little sister, when I sent pictures of this, my mom said that my sister Tina would not want one of these, and I totally forgot that actually, like, even the word cotton, when you take a cotton ball and you go like that with it, it hurts her teeth, like it just irritates her, and I get that because when forks scrape on a plate, that hurts my teeth, or like nails on a chalkboard or chalk, but it hurts my teeth. It must be the frequency of it or whatever. A lot of people didn't, a lot of people didn't believe me, but she has the same thing, but with this white fluff. So we're not even allowed to say the name of this stuff around her. So what else is happening? Last time, one of the times that I did my live from my room, I had he's up there, but my bear, Chico McAllister. So I just thought I would have a different stuffy today. I like Silver Tabby Cat's stuffies because that was my first, and I loved all my cats, don't get me wrong, but Willow was a very special cat. My big polydactyl with 7 toes on the front and 6 on the back of each paw, and weighed over 17 pounds. He was just a beast, like a little lynx. And so I have what's the word? No, there's not infinity, that's like goes on and on and on, but there's like a word that sounds like that. Affinity. Anyways, I like these. I have a love of these, and this one is called Lily. Is it Lilliput from IKEA? So you guys have probably seen these before, and you can still get them at IKEA. but the green eyes, because I have green eyes, and my nickname for my mom and my grandma, my mom's mom, was Lilliput, like the island in Gulliver's Travels. So yeah, that's what I like, my silver kitties. Auntie Joan says, good afternoon, ladies. Good afternoon, Auntie Joan. Hope you're well. The summer Auntie Joan's going to be coming to England, but me and the family are going to Canada. But we will see each other cross paths somewhere along the summertime. So I'll put this guy here. What else was I going to tell you guys? So me and Steve went and saw the movie. Okay, so this is so silly. I knew they were making a new Ghostbusters movie, and I've been waiting and waiting for it to come out. Like, I've been waiting years for the new Ghostbuster movie to come out. Little did I know, like a week or so ago, Steve showed me that it was on TV. Well, not on TV, but like you could see it, like, you know, like rented on movie channels or whatever. And I was like, how is it out already? Like, how is it on the TV already? It's only in theaters, or it hasn't come out in theaters or whatever. And then he's like, no, this one came out in 2021 or something. And I'm like, what? And I was so confused. I didn't realize that the new Ghostbusters already came out in like 2021 and that Paul Rudd's in it, which is like my celebrity crush. So we watched that one a couple days ago, or last week or whatever, and then the new one that just came out is in theaters now, and this is like the second one with Paul Rudd in it. But also, when we went to the theater last night, not only is Paul Rudd, like I said, my celebrity crush, in it, there's one of my favorite comedians from here, so most people might not have heard of him, but if you've seen the Ghostbusters movie, you'll have seen him in there. He plays like a kind of like a, not a scientist, but, well, he specializes in the equipment that the Ghostbusters use, like the, I can't remember what they're called now. Well, all the equipment that they use. Anyways, he specializes in that. His name is James Acaster. He's probably younger than me, actually. He's probably in his 30s. But he just cracks me up. He makes me laugh. He's on a podcast here called Off Menu, and it's him and another comedian, Ed Gamble, who interview celebrities and stuff about their dream menu if they had a dream restaurant, and they could have like their dream starter, their dream drink, their dream, you know, entree, dessert, such things. But if you really want to see like James Acaster, I'll put it in the comments, but his stand-up comedy is very funny. He is just a funny, I don't know if I could hang out with him all the time if he was like that, because he might get like a little, you know, like sometimes comedians, they're funny, but would you want to be around them all the time? But he is, I love James Acaster. He always makes me laugh. So he might not be everybody's cup of tea, I don't know, but I'll put a link to him in the comments. But it was really cool to see him in Ghostbusters. I had no idea that he was going to be in there. So what do you guys want to talk about? This is one of my hoodies. I don't wear this one much. The girls do, because it has a word that is, I guess, offensive now. So we're not allowed to really use this word. But I could probably cover it with something. But it says what? I ordered this years ago. You guys can read it. Well, I can read it. Wild child, gypsy wanderer, she who lives a free-spirited life and believes in truth, adventure, and love. I know it's backwards for you guys, but I'll flip it after. So, yeah, I like this hoodie, and I like the color of it, and I actually wore it to the movies last night, so I thought I would wear it today for my live. What are these weird circles, you ask? That's actually the bottom of a horse. I like this horse. It was Owen's. And I think it has a button to do the... So that's the designer. I don't know who that is or what it says. But that's not... I just think it's very cute. You press the ear. I think it's very cute, but the problem was that, like, if there's a little kid here who wants to play with it, that's fine, but I don't want it to get dirty or wrecked. And when I had it out on the landing as a decoration with the kids' books and stuff. The older kids kept messing around with it, and I didn't want it broken or anything, so that it hangs up on my shelf. Well, no, on the bottom actually, like this. It sits on the end of the shelf like this up there, so that's why the rolling bottom is... Oh, should I do the... So I can take a picture? Sometimes I look crazy when I do those smiles with books and stuff. Reading a book about death and then taking a picture like, oh, like I'm a bit crazy. So how was everybody's Sunday? How was your Easter? Yes, I was sick last week, but we did have Steve's parents over. Most of the kids were here, and we had a nice Easter dinner that Steve made. The house was clean. It was nice. Besides being sick, like everything was nice about it. And then we also had a cake for Steve's mom's 80th birthday. It's crazy. I don't know how she went from 29 to 80 like that. See, it was like yesterday she was just 29. And then Steve's stepdad is going to be 75 in a few days as well. But it was a very nice dinner. And did we do anything else this last week? The girl's biological dad, Michael, came to England on April 1st, April Fool's Day, and he's staying at a hotel near here. He doesn't really have any money to take them anywhere or do anything with them, but he is, after 12 years, putting in a little bit of effort, so, you know, I guess that's nice. Yeah, so the girls have been seeing him during the days. Except that some of the days Erica had like Easter school, like just extra studying, because it's her last year of school, so she needs to take it seriously. So she had extra time at school for a couple days. Then she got sick, so she missed one of her extra days at school that she needed to do because it was an art day where she needed to catch up on her art. But she was sick, like vomiting sick, so there was no way she was going in. And then during the day she's seen Michael, and then yesterday and today she's gone to oh, this is funny, I gotta tell you this. So she kept telling me that she was going to some kind of animal thing. Well, that's what I told Steve too. I said, I don't know, she's going to some animal thing this weekend with Tyla. Sam, you know, Samantha's my best friend and Tyla's Erica's best friend, and Samantha is Tyla's mom. So Erica and Tyla were going to some kind of animal convention or something, because I guess it was part of Tyla's birthday gift. Her birthday's the same as Steve's in January, but the convention wasn't till now. So some kind of animal thing. I'm not bothered. I trust Samantha, so whatever they were doing. So even Erica kept thinking it was an animal thing. Then she says to me, after she's already there yesterday, she said, when I talked to her on the phone, she said, Mom, it's not an animal convention. It's an anime convention. So anime is short for animation, which Erica is very into. So, which I think makes way more sense and is probably way more enjoyable than, well, an animal convention might be fun too. But yeah, so that is so funny. So that's where she's been the last few days. So I'm glad that she's enjoying herself at that. And that is what we've been doing with our week. Weather's been off and on. I was outside, was I outside yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I was outside for a bit, just tidying up some things. Like, I'm just going around and taking all the, like, spring is happening with or without me. Like, it's already April 7th, and like, there's things that are growing and starting to bloom that I'm like, whoa, it's a early season for a lot of things. Or maybe I'm just late because being sick since Christmas, I haven't been outside as much as I want to. And then the weather, when it's rainy or windy and cloudy and miserable, it doesn't really inspire you to want to be outside. So things are just happening with or without me out there. But yeah, I'm trying to go around now and do the spring cleaning with, like, taking off the dead, like, last year's growth that's dried out and everything else. Like, so depending where you live, you want to kind of wait for it to do this anyways, because if you're going to still have frosty nights, you got to remember that invertebrate, like bugs and insects and all those fun things, are still living in the, you know, stems of plants and seed heads of plants. It's like they're trying to find, or under leaves, they're trying to find those places to stay warm until the weather gets nicer. So depending on where you live, you don't want to just go and tidy up all of it really quickly. But certain things you can clean up, and one of the first things you want to do is your herbaceous, like your perennial grasses, like the grasses that like go dormant in the wintertime and then regrow new growth every year. So the old growth, you want to cut that down. You try to cut it down before the new growth starts growing, because once the new growth starts growing and you have the dry and the new, you don't want to cut off the new growth. And you don't want to cut it too high, because then you still have to see all that ugly stuff. So that's anyways, that's what I was doing yesterday, was just tidying up some of the garden. The grass is coming along. Yes, it doesn't take nice pictures. And yes, it makes it tight with the sidewalk around it out there with the orange, what do you call it? Orange plastic fencing around the grass. But without the dogs being on the grass and making it all into mud and their urine burning it, the grass is coming in lovely. I mowed the lawn possibly yesterday. Did I mow the lawn yesterday or the day before? I don't remember. So it and then in the patches where the new grass is coming in, it's gonna look great and thick and lovely once the grass fills in those patches. And then of course we'll take the fence down, and hopefully it'll be nice and thick and green, and it won't get wrecked as quickly. We'll see. If the dogs start marking it, like if they start burning it too much again, maybe I will put up the fence. I'd rather have the orange fence with nice grass, especially if we want to have people over for like a garden barbecue, whatever, if we need the space without dog poo and dog burns and everything else on the grass. I do want grass for the dogs to run in. Luckily down the road from us there's a field that they can run in, so if we take them there. Lena is 11 and a half years old. She is a female German Shepherd. Their life expectancy is 9 to 11, and she's 11 and a half. She'll be 12 in August. So she's doing really well for her age, but at the same time, she is an older lady. So she's not going to want to do as much running as the puppy who's a year and a half. That's Sasha. So what else did you guys do for Easter? I just learned... I grew up Catholic, and, I guess it's not, he said it's not a mass, but I didn't even realize, maybe I knew this and forgot it, I don't know, but there's some kind of thing, because I remember them covering, like, the statues and stuff, I guess during Lent or whenever they cover the statues and then uncover them after Easter or something, but then Steve said, because I don't remember where we were going, I think we went to pick up Erica last week or something, anyways, it was Easter Saturday night, Sunday night, I have no idea. Anyways, there's like not a mass, not a midnight mass, but there's some kind of thing they do at midnight, some kind of ceremony that they do at the church at midnight on Easter. I didn't even realize that, because I have never been to it. I've only been to church at midnight for Christmas midnight mass, so. Mom says they crucified Jesus and... See, I knew Mom would know this, but I just don't remember us ever going to it. Abora's howling next door like a dog. I thought it was Sasha for a minute. That's why I was quiet. So I told you guys about the calendar that I have that I can color. Hi Samantha. Actually, I'll grab my calendar and I'll show you guys. So Owen bought this calendar for Christmas for me. From Owen and Bobby. And I do have coloring books by this artist. Mom says, then at Easter, they uncovered Jesus because he rises. Yes. Yeah, but do they cover him up at midnight on Good Friday? Maybe it was Good Friday. Do they cover him up on Good Friday, representing the crucifixion, and then uncover him on... Or maybe is it at midnight on Sunday that they uncover him? I have no idea. Samantha says, Erica and Tyler had a great day at the animal convention. Yes, at the anime convention. Funny. Okay, so this is by Joanna Basford, and you guys have probably seen coloring books by her. If you don't own any, you've probably seen them in the shops. But this is called Rooms of Wonder, so it is pictures that are, I don't know if they were done specifically for a calendar, or if they're from her coloring book, but every month is a different. I haven't done that one because that wasn't, well, it was the first 4 months. Now, yes, I don't mind if I'm going to go through it with the marker pens because I'm only going to use the calendar once, and then when I color that month, it'll be last month that is come through anyways. So this was my January that I did. This is my February. This one was hard because I didn't know what colors to do for all the candies and cakes. And I didn't know if I should do a background. And was that February? This is my March. This one took a while. Again, because I'm a realist and I want the colors to be real. My poor goldfish, though. This had an orange lid. It was supposed to be orange, but it looks red to me. So this is March. And this is April. So I may, depending on how I feel when I'm done my live, I may start on the April or I'll start later. But April, very up my alley with showers and plants. But as I told you guys before that, so because sometimes I can get, you know, obsessive and carried away with things, including coloring. If I color in bed, I might not be paying attention to the TV if me and Steve are watching something or whatever. So I told him with this calendar, I will only color once a month, depending on how long the picture takes me. But it'll be like, so now that it's April, I can color the April picture for that month. And then once that's done being colored, then I can't color again until May. So that's what I'm doing. But me and Steve have signed up for some painting classes with my friend Bex, who is, well, that's how I know her, is as an artist and a teacher. But Steve knows her through Feathers, I think. So, but we're going to be doing some, hello? Oh, that's a dog running around on the landing. I thought someone was knocking at my door. So, yeah, me and Steve are going to be doing some painting classes. I know that he wants to learn to paint more, and we need to have more of a social life anyways, and I love Bex, so it would be cool to have her as my teacher. And, yeah, so me and Steve will be doing some painting classes, different types of paint. Like, there's the oil one, there's watercolor, and then there's actually a mixed media class that I want to do with her, and different things. So some of her classes are during the day, so Steve can't really make those ones, so we have to kind of pick and choose when we can do them, but I'm excited to do any art. Plus, we know me, so one of the reasons that we stopped going to the art classes, well, I think they actually stopped, the art classes stopped, and that's why we stopped going, but at the same time, it was really hard for me to, like, drag myself away from the house on a Monday evening to go to painting if it was nice weather out and I wanted to be outside in the garden instead. But I have to have a balance, so I got to think about this as like creative artistic time, but also time with Steve and even time with a friend, even though she'll be teaching. So I have to be a student and be quiet, just like when Steve's my teacher at workshops and stuff. I can't. I have to just be a quiet student like the rest of them. So. What else is coming up? Getting excited for Canada, starting to get the plans, the dates that we're going. Steve has to look at flights, so we know exactly what day, but we're pretty confident it's the middle of July to the middle of August. And already have some different plans in place for when we're in Canada, but I will let specific people know when we know what dates we're going to be near to you guys. People who who have made it known that they want to get together with us in when we're there. So I will let people know. So if I haven't let you know, it's only because I haven't actually decided where we're going to be at what days and stuff yet. So Steve took the dog for a walk yesterday. He realizes that in this, the thing is, he is still sick as well. So I told him that too. Not only are we out of shape from not doing our exercise, but he said he was out of breath quicker than he thought he would be. But like I said, with this like chest head cold thing that we have, you're gonna be more. But yeah, so we have still been eating relatively good for weeks now. But this weekend we had a bit, like when we went to the movies yesterday, I had popcorn. I was so disappointed in the movie yesterday. Like, not the movie, but the theater is great, and it's not cheap, and the food was not cheap either. But my nachos, they've changed the nachos from just tortilla chips to like actual like Dorito nachos now, which is unnecessary. The cheese is fine. But then she asked me what flavor of Doritos I wanted, and I just said cheesy. And she gave me some spicy ones, which I like spicy, but I didn't want spicy. If you're eating spicy Doritos, that's one thing. But when you have the cheesy dip, and then I had jalapenos on top, I was like, the chips are spicy enough, I don't even need the jalapenos. So that was frustrating. And then first, even before our movie started, we got there early, so we were going to have an ice cream, because the ice cream thing looked like it was actually open. But we asked, and because our movie was like just after 11 at night, and then they said the ice cream thing was shut, and we're like, well, the ice cream's still out, like in the glass, you can see it. And they're like, yeah, well, it depends. I said, well, what time does it close at? And she says, it depends on how busy we are, and I'm like, okay, well, the ice cream's still out or whatever. She's like, yeah, but nobody's over there to serve it. And we're like, yeah, so send someone over there to serve it. But whatever. So we didn't get the ice cream. Then my nachos were the situation that I just told you. And me and Steve, I wish that we liked popcorn. I mean, like that we liked the same kind of popcorn, because then we could just share one, because a whole big popcorn is kind of a lot. But he likes sweet, which a lot of people in this country like sweet popcorn. And I like salty. And I do not like sweet, and he does not like salty. But the popcorn I got yesterday was so salty. Like, too salty for me. So I barely ate any of my... I could have kept eating it, but then I would have wanted to drink more, and then I would have had to go to the bathroom more, and that's not really enjoyable while I'm trying to watch a movie. So most of the popcorn is sitting in the box still on the counter in the kitchen now. So for the price of food, I was really disappointed with all that. But my point was, back at the beginning of this, is that we had some nachos and that kind of stuff yesterday. What did we have for supper yesterday? Oh, cheesy hash browns and chicken strips. Homemade chicken strips, and his were made in the air fryer, but the cheesy hash browns were made in the air fryer, but they're not really, the carbs, so they weren't like the healthiest thing. But today we had pasties, because tomorrow we're going to start. So a pasty is like flaky pastry with like sliced potato and beef inside, and they're just really, really nice. They're one of my favorite things. But yeah, tomorrow we're going to be starting the chicken and veg and portion control. So so we were going a little bit all out, having a few things. So that's why we wanted the ice cream yesterday as well, because we knew that once we start eating more seriously tomorrow, we're not going to be able to have like ice cream, and definitely not cones, which Steve likes his ice cream in a cone. So I just wish I could get rid of whatever this is. I'm trying to be patient and everything, but when I think about like doing my workouts, I don't think I can wait until I'm better, because I'm not going to be better. So even like it's like working outside and mowing the lawn and doing whatever, I'm not going to like work. I'm not going to push myself to where like I pass out because I'm working and doing stuff while I'm sick. But I'm pretty sure I could get through the yoga, because it's slow enough and it's stretching my muscles and stuff. So even with this cold, I could probably do the yoga. There's no excuses. So perhaps I will start tomorrow, and then I'll only be 2 days behind Steve with exercise instead of 100 days like last time when we started. Speaking of which, Samantha, I saw you yesterday. You are looking really good on your weight loss journey since having, you've had a lot. I mean, yes, Spencer is going to be 2, but that's not really, like, it's not like it's been an easy 2 years since he's been born, so. And saying that, I mean, I didn't really, I guess well, I guess I got in shape when Michael walked out on us, and Erica was 3 at that time. But then after that, it wasn't until I moved here when Erica was 6 that, again, I got, like, you know, where I could focus on me. And the youngest was 6 at the time. So it's not always easy to focus on ourselves when you have young ones. So, what else? You guys, you can say something, tell me something. See, that's the other thing with last week. Even if I tried to choke my way through talking to you guys for an hour, which would have been really difficult, even talking now, like, it makes my throat feel, like, sort of dry, but more like, not itchy, but, like, just, you know, like, makes me want to cough, and, sorry, yeah, it just makes it sore. Makes my glands sore, my lymph nodes. So Allison's at her boyfriend, so it's just Tom and Aurora home. And besides the fact that I keep seeing the door going open and close, I don't know if Aurora's here or if she's gone to see Michael at the hotel. I don't know. But, oh yeah, so time, it's like between 9 and 10. So I don't know what else to show you guys in my room. These plants here are specific. Well, this one used to be on the window ledge. When I moved it here and started growing it with the grow light, it really was happy about that. I think I just need to water it more often. This one, you can see these ends are all cut off. That's because it was dry, and I can't remember what happened to it, if the dog got it or whatever. But I'm trying to I want to see if it is happier here. It wasn't getting as much light where it was sitting before, so I'm trying to test these grow lights. And then this African violet has been under this grow light since I got the African violet and the grow light. So it seems to be happy. Wait, actually, it looks a little bit pale in the middle. And they're small, but it did have aphids as well. So, I need to put my glasses on. So, that might be a small because of the... Yeah, it looks like when I treated it for aphids, it looks like it actually worked. So I'm not finding any live aphids. There's a lot of leaves. Maybe I need to thin it out or something, but we'll see how. I have taken some of the bigger leaves to, what's it called? Oh, I just broke one. Oopsie. So now I can, like, propagate that. That's what I'm trying to say, but I didn't mean to take one of those smaller ones off. But yeah, so these don't really get any natural light because we rarely have our curtains open in this room. So we'll see how they do under the artificial light. Mum says, is it just Michael or is his honey there with him and his extra children? Mum, him and his girlfriend split up. He doesn't have extra children. I don't think she has any children. Or does she? I don't think she has any children. But she is pregnant and due with his baby. So the girls will have a half-sister. But I guess, as far, like, I don't want to gossip about him and his life, but as far as I know, they split up. She doesn't want him there for the baby's delivery, and but he's here until the 17th, and she's due on the 18th. They know it's a girl, but yeah, I mean, I understand if she doesn't want him there for the delivery. I guess that, I don't know what the rights are for people, but I know that even if I was a guy, I would want to be there for my baby. And even after the baby's born, whether you want the person there or not, they have rights to the baby. However, this is Michael, so who knows if he's just gonna repeat the same patterns as he did with the girls. I don't know. So yeah, she's back in the Maritimes, New Brunswick, I think. It was somewhere in Fredericton, New Brunswick, I think. So somewhere in the Maritimes in Canada is where she lives, and that's where he was living before they split up, and she kicked him out. So he's here for a couple of weeks, then he goes back there, or I don't know what he's doing. So, who knows? Yeah. I know I wouldn't want to be having another baby right now. That's for sure. I'm tired. Me and Steve aren't even done raising the ones that we have, let alone having another one at this time. But not only that, it's like, it's not just having a baby to take care of. The baby is around for years and years and years. And as we know with the economy now, the babies that we do have, who knows if and when they're going to be able to have their own place, or, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so the last thing I want to do is bring another baby into the world, and, well, I can't anyways. Me and Steve are both fixed, but you know what I'm saying. Reading, I'm so close to finishing my book. Again, maybe I'll do that when I'm done my live. The problem is when I read in bed, I fall asleep. So, but the TV's off. Steve's not here, watching TV. So, because the thing about reading for me is I need to concentrate. For years, I had to read out loud for it to, like, sink in, especially if there's other noise and stuff like that. But luckily now I can read in my head. I don't have to read out loud, but I prefer it to be quiet, like, so I can focus on what I'm reading. And even if I'm enjoying the book, I still get tired and then end up wanting to sleep when I'm reading. I don't know why, but I'm almost done that book, and then I can start a new one. But that's the thing, is like, people talk about being bored or not knowing what to do with if they have any downtime from work or whatever. Yes, all the housework and all that stuff has to be done too, but if you have this time where it's like, ooh, what do I want to do with my time? I have so many things that I would like to do. Like, I would like to read the book, I need to finish the photos on my phone, to color that picture, or, yeah, I could watch TV, or I could just go to sleep. Like, I have so many options of things that I could do. Or, oh my gosh, okay, so Ancestry. I told you guys 2 weeks ago when I was telling you about my mom's mom. I've gotten even further back on that tree, all the way. A lot of the lines that I'm doing, like, I'm working on my grandma's, my mom's mom and my dad's mom, and they're both, like, a French ancestry, and there is a lot in Quebec and then in France. So we are very French, and but a couple, like, these lines, because the thing is, like, so I have 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, 32 great-great-great-grandparents. So you could go on all these lines, and, like, it's not just like you have these two, you know, like, there's 2 ways to know where your ancestry goes, but the ones that I have taken, we have been in Canada for a very long time. Pretty much since it was territories, and, like, basically since Europeans have gone to settle the Americas, and that is crazy to think that some of our ancestors have been there that long. So when I'm done, like finding the family tree and finding some of those lines, I can look into the history of that area. Because obviously if it was a settlement, there would have been less people. And yes, even though, like I said, the tree grows that way with but it also grows that way where these 2 people that I find have babies, and then their babies have babies, and the babies. So they have so many descendants that those people, if they were looking at it to their history of the settlements in Quebec, they would have the same history as us. So who knows what I'm going to find. But it's like a video game for me. I love it. It's like Ancestry. So I can be on ancestry.ca, like, while we're watching TV and stuff, and just looking at hints. So when you have a person, if there's other things that might be on there, or other people who have looked up this person, or there might be a birth certificate or marriage certificate or something, some kind of information that might pertain to this specific person, it'll give you this. I think I told you guys this. It gives you this little green leaf, and it'll have a number in it, so like 4. So that means that there's 4 hints pertaining to this person. So you click on that, and it'll tell you, like, okay, well, it's in someone else's tree, so you look at their tree to see, and it's like, oh yeah, this person is married to the person, so it is the same person. And look, they told me that they have 2 kids, so I can save that information to my tree. Or it might be that it's a wedding a marriage certificate. So you click on it and see the original marriage certificate, like a photocopy of it or whatever, and then you read the information, and it'll be like, yes, this is the right person and their spouse, and look, now I know their parents' names. So and then you can add their parents onto your tree, and so it is like a video game, and it's fun and addicting. And like I said, with how many ways that you can go, like of course I did my mom's mom all the way like as far back as I could go, and that was to, was it 1500s or 1600s in France? But one of the grandmas, I think I've done 13 generations up or something. One of those ones was actually an English lady born in London, England, and married a French guy. So, what was I going to say? There's just a lot to learn. There's a lot of ways that it can go when you're going back all those ways. So, yeah, not only is it addicting, it's not like there's an end to it. The other thing is, like, I want to put in all the information I know about my aunties and uncles and cousins and then my cousins' kids and all that. And I can put all that information in that I know, but you can't look at anybody who's living. You can't see their information. So no matter how much information I put on about me and my siblings and my cousins and my nieces and my nephews and such, if they're living, that information is private and nobody else can see it. I do want to get my DNA test done too, so I'm waiting for Steve to order me and him some DNA tests. It'll also be interesting to see, especially if there's any England crossovers or the Ireland crossovers, if me and Steve's families ever connect. Steve's parents on grandparents on his dad's side, like his dad's parents, were first cousins. So that's interesting. When I started on his family tree, and like it's weird, like that his grandma, her mom, and his grandpa, his dad, or something like that, they're brother and sister. So they end up having half of the same family tree. Yeah, so it's interesting when it's like that. And then like my great grandpa Wellington, it looks like he was an only child. So that's interesting too. Besides his wife, her name was Emily May, and her family, like obviously she has siblings and parents and family, but because if Wellington was an only child, that means all of the descendants under Wellington all come to that one point. So it'd be even more interesting to see two only children who had kids together, and like that any descendants from there come to that one point. Do you know what I mean? Very interesting stuff. Very obsessed with, you know how I can, like, again, I become obsessive with things, so it is hard sometimes to shut it off and go to sleep or do whatever I'm supposed to be doing instead of Ancestry. And I thought it would bother Steve if I was doing it while we were trying to watch TV and stuff, but he said that he loves seeing me so passionate about it. But yeah, it is exciting. I can't wait to like look into history of certain things too, and if there's any ancestors that were like once I got into the European stuff, if they are buried, however you want to say it, here in England, then if it's near me or if we go visit those places, then I'll see if I can see their headstones. If and when we go to Ontario next, or well, I've never been to Quebec, but in Ontario there's some things that I want to look up, and then obviously, yeah, Canada. But if I have any friends or family living in certain areas where I need something looked up, then I'll let them know maybe, and they can look for me. But it's also cool that, like, the cool thing about having so many descendants from a certain place is that, especially the more popular Ancestry is now and stuff, like, there's so many people that might be looking up into the same tree, so they might have already done all the work, and you just get to add each person to your tree, and they already know who that person's parents and siblings are and everything else. And so yeah, so you're not working on this all by yourself. And it's like, can you imagine when people were doing this type of stuff even 30 years ago, where they had to do this stuff by traveling or talking to people, like writing letters to people yes, they could use the phone as well. We had phones 30 years ago. But you know what I mean? Trying to find this information out from other places newspapers, like having to physically go to libraries and newspaper archives and all these things and trying to find these things, whereas now lots of obituaries and all this type of information, even if you have to pay for it, is somewhere online probably, and makes it that much easier, let alone more than one person working on the same tree. So yeah, this is me rambling. We have 10 minutes left of me rambling. I know you guys missed my scratchety voice and having a week without me, but it was Easter, so that's good. At least you guys had something to do, you know, instead of just sitting there missing me so much. Well, this might be too much information for some people, but I don't know if I told you guys that I've had so a word for vagina here, sometimes they call it fanny, like Fanny's your aunt. Well, fanny is another name for vagina. So if you say an itchy vagina, like itchy fanny, it sounds, they say like a Japanese motorbike, itchy fanny. Anyways, I've had a itchy area for like over a year, off and on. And I went to the doctor about it and, you know, thinking it was like a yeast infection or whatever, and it wasn't, it isn't. And the only thing she can come up with now is like that it might be my estrogen levels, or like it has like with menopause. I'm 45, I'll be 46 in October. And so I was on estrogen for a few weeks to see if that helped. When I first was on it, I was on it every day, and then it made me bleed like I was on my period. Then I had to do it like twice a week, every 3 days basically, and then I wasn't bleeding anymore. And then I had my period like regular, and then I was listening to something or reading something about I think it's called, like, it's like pre-menopause, so I think it's called perimenopause. But everything I was reading was talking about in perimenopause that you will have like one of the signs of perimenopause is irregular menstrual cycles. And the thing is that since I got my period when I was 10, it was in the summertime, and my birthday is in October, so I was like 10, almost 11, a few months away from my 11th birthday. So since I was 10, I have had regular menstrual cycles like my whole life. So I was like, no, so I don't know if it's perimenopause because my you know, my menstrual cycles are still regular. Well, of course I said that. What happened this week? I got my menstrual cycle a week early. So me, who's regular all the time, and I got it a week early. So I'm like, oh man. So it might just be perimenopause or whatever. So I have to make a doctor's appointment for that as well. Because the itching seems to, when I was taking the estrogen, it didn't totally go away, but it seemed to be like in the background, or it wasn't like as bad. But then when I was off the estrogen, it was like back again, like full like force, like Vagisil is my best friend, or I would go insane. But when I'm on my period, it seems to be a little bit of a background thing as well. So I don't know what that's about. But as soon as I'm done this period, like I need to make a doctor's appointment, but I can't go in because I can't do a swab or anything until I'm done my menstrual cycle. So anyways, I know it's too much information, but it is something that, you know, we can talk about because it is a real thing, menopause and all these fun hormonal changes in our body. Not only that, I can act like everything's great, but some of those days I'm itching like I want to jump off of a cliff because I'm not uncomfortable. I'm not actually scratching, but, you know, like I have the Vagisil. So I'm just saying it's not a comfortable feeling, and it's hard to focus on anything when something is making you crazy. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. I won't tell you all the details because, again, it might be uncomfortable for some people. It might be too much information for some people. It might be really gross for some people. But it is what it is. So isn't that going to be fun for Steve? Loving me when I'm my normal crazy self, but then going through, if it's anything like my pregnancies going through menopause, it's not going to be fun for anybody. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. supper, I already told you guys what we had for supper. We had pasties, but I made sliced green beans as well. So we had something healthy on the side as well. But I don't know what I'm going to do with I think I'm going to finish reading my book. I don't think I'm going to start coloring tonight. I think I'm going to finish reading my book, add the photos for my March garden photos onto Facebook, and then call it a night. The week starts again tomorrow. The kids are still on school holidays here for like spring break or whatever, so they don't have school tomorrow, but oh, it's the 8th tomorrow, so it's like, I think it's a lunar eclipse tomorrow? Yeah, lunar eclipse, right? The one where the moon goes in front of the sun. So, where it becomes completely dark. And I'm pretty sure it's on the 8th, and I don't know for sure if we can see it from here, or if there's going to be clouds covering, if it's during the day, so basically it's supposed to cover, the moon covers the sun, and it'll look like darkness for a few minutes, like it'll look like nighttime for a few minutes. So I haven't looked into, I better look to see if we can even see it from here, if it's clear skies. I have no idea, but wherever you are in the world, check your local listings and see if you're going to be able to see the eclipse on the 8th, and exactly what time it's supposed to be at in your local area. Be very cool to see, although I guess you're not, even if it's the moon going in front of the sun, you're not supposed to stare directly at it, right? Because it's basically, when the sun's not behind the moon fully, you're staring directly at the sun, but you can put glasses on. I don't know if it's just normal sunglasses work, or what kind of glasses you need to wear. Yeah, I did not look into this thing, but you guys could look into it if you care that much. The eclipse is supposed to be happening like tomorrow or something. And I guess if today's the 7th, next Sunday is the 14th, April 14th. Does that day mean anything? I don't think so. But it will be another rambling hour. Maybe I'll try and have a guest. See what we'll do. Maybe if not a guest, I'll do my live from the greenhouse or something. I don't know. We'll see what exciting things we will do next Sunday. And because I haven't read the Christmas stories for kids or the Easter stories for kids, I have some just normal kids stories that I might do a special at some point when I have a voice and read kids books, but I'll let the parents that watch this know. If you're watching this live or later and you're interested in listening to me read the kids stories live and say hi and a shout out to your kids, then let me know in a comment or in a message, and I will do that. Otherwise, whenever I do them, it will be posted and you can listen to it afterwards as well if you don't catch it live. So, all right, so I guess that's all for this week. I am glad to be back. I'm sorry that I had no voice last week because besides, like I said, with this, it being dry and whatever, it's not like it's hard for me to just sit. Well, it is. It's so stupid. Yeah, I guess it is a little bit hard for me to sit still because I get all wiggly and shaking my leg and you know what I mean? But at the same time, I can sit for an hour or jiggle for an hour, and I can definitely talk for an hour. There's not a lot that stops me from talking. So when one of these days, we'll have to ramble. So I'll take you on a walk somewhere, and maybe when it's still light out at night, that we'll go on a rambling ramble. So we'll ramble while we're rambling. You know what I mean? And you know how like podcasts and stuff have people who watch or listen to them and stuff, and then they call their followers something, like they'll name them whatever, something related. So then if this is the rambling hour and you tune in and watch this, would you be called ramblers as well? Like, would you rambler followers? What should I call people who watch my lives regularly? What works with the, like, play on words with the name rambling? I don't know. I'll think about it. You guys think about it. Mom says, bye, love you. Bye, I love you too, Mom. Everybody watching live, see you guys later. And anybody who's watching this later. All right, so we'll see you next week. And hopefully I'm a little more interesting next week. All right, if there's anything you want me to talk about or anything you want me to do on my lives, what have you. Let me know. Also, wait, hang on, let me think. There was something, ancestors, doing the ancestry stuff, and then I can't remember, there's just certain things that were lining up with like my spiritual life and ancestors, and then doing the ancestry stuff, and there's just like the directions my life's taking right now has to do with like the past, looking into the past, looking into where I came from, and the ancestor thing. It's really, it's on the, I even have a candle that I bought at Christmas time that is like sort of like a prayer candle or like a meditation candle, and it's specifically for the ancestors. So you light it when you're like trying to connect with your ancestors. Anyways, everything's ancestors right now. So I love you guys, and we will see you next week. Bye.